The Spot Healing Brush tool in Photoshop gives you the ability to remove small marks or blemishes in your image and replace it with similar color information in order to create a seamless repair. In this example, we're going to remove the paint marks on this striped shirt over here. Before we do that, I'm going to zoom in on this area using the magnifying tool from the toolbar, and then click and drag diagonally to zoom in on this area. So next, I'll select the Spot Healing tool from the toolbar, and with any tool that we select from the toolbar, settings for that tool will appear along the top. If I go into this setting over here, this controls the size of the brush I'm working with. If I move into the area, we can see a small circle, which is my mouse cursor, and that is my brush size. And if I want to increase the size of that brush, I just drag the slider. We get a higher number, and here we got a really big brush size. That's a little bit too big for what I need, so I'm going to drag that back again to a smallish area. That's about right. The other setting below it is the hardness setting, and this in this particular example will influence the area that is going to be repaired. So first of all, I'll show you the difference between the hardness setting. I'm going to bring the slider control back down to the 0 level, and then move into the image, and I'm going to click and drag over this green piece of paint here. As I click and drag, we see a grey area appearing. This is showing me where I've been painting, and we can see a grey area with a very soft edge around it. If I release the mouse now, it removes the green paint and replaces it with similar background information. In this example, a striped pattern. Let's try that again, only this time we will change the hardness to the other side, to the 100%, and we'll click and drag again. And as I do so, we can see the area of influence that we're having. This time, instead of a soft edge to our area of influence, we have a much harder edge. And once again, I'm going to click and drag, keeping my mouse button down over the area of paint I want to remove, and then I'll release my mouse button. Once again, it removes the paint and replaces it with a similar color values from the background. In this example, a striped pattern of the shirt. I'm going to continue clicking and dragging, and clicking and dragging. As well as using the settings along the top row, we can also use a keyboard shortcut to adjust the size of my brush. I can use the open and close brackets on the keyboard to make my brush bigger or smaller. And generally, I like to keep it a fairly small brush. That gives me more focus over the area I'm going to repair. If I create a very large brush, like so, and start to paint, it can remove too much of the image, and that's taking out the shadow information in the shirt. So I'll undo that. I'll go to Edit and Undo, bring that back. So using my bracket keys again, I will make this a small brush, and that just concentrates the effect of this brush tool in a very small area. So click and drag, clicking and dragging, taking out just a little bit over the area I want to remove, and releasing my mouse. As well as clicking and dragging, I can just dab with my mouse button, click and release to get rid of the very small areas. I'll just continue to do this, clicking and releasing over these very small areas, and clicking and dragging over the slightly larger areas. Again, that's picked up a little bit of a shadow detail in the shirt, which I didn't want. So I'll edit and undo. Maybe try a really small brush size in these areas. Yes. A little bit of colour down here at the bottom. In fact, I'll use my hand tool to just move down. Here's some more information. little bits of paint splattered here and there that we need to take out. So again, using the spot tool, clicking and dragging and releasing. And we start to see we've now got a much cleaner shirt than what we had before. Let's just zoom out of the picture to see the whole thing. A keyboard shortcut to do that is Command or Control on a PC. Control or Command 0 will zoom out to see the whole of our image. And we can see now the results of what the spot healing tool has done.